something you once feared. There comes a point in an empath's life where being good starts costing too much. And most people never talk about that part. They talk about your heart, your compassion, your ability to understand people when nobody else could. But they never talk about what it cost you to become that person. How many times you stayed quiet to keep peace? How many times you carried energy that was never yours? How many times you walked into a room feeling fine and walked out feeling heavy for reasons you couldn't explain? But something is changing now. And this is where your comeback begins. Most empaths don't rise when life gets easier. They rise when something finally breaks inside them, not their spirit, their loyalty. Because for a long time, you kept giving chances to people who already showed you who they were. You kept explaining, forgiving, understanding, waiting, believing that if you loved harder, people would eventually become who they pretended to be. But then something happened. Maybe it was realizing you were always remembered when someone needed healing, but somehow forgotten when you needed the same. And that pain, it didn't destroy you. It destroyed the illusion. What most people don't understand is that while everyone thought the empath was just hurting, something much deeper was happening. You weren't just going through pain, you were studying human nature in real time. Every betrayal, every half-truth, every guilt trip, and every moment where someone's words didn't match their intentions was teaching you something most people never learn. Because when you feel deeply, you start noticing patterns other people miss. You begin seeing the difference between someone who genuinely needs love and someone who simply needs access to your energy. You start realizing that people can say all the right things while consistently showing you something completely different through their actions. And without even realizing it, your pain was sharpening your discernment. It was teaching you to stop listening only to what people say and start paying attention to what they repeatedly do. Pain becomes power the moment it teaches you what peace cannot. That's why you're changing now. You're not reacting the same, trusting the same, or giving endless chances the same. Because the empath who once saw the good in everyone is now learning to see the truth in everyone, and that changes everything. There's something most spiritual conversations avoid talking about. People will tell you to keep giving, keep loving, and keep forgiving, but almost nobody talks about what happens when someone spends years pouring into others while receiving almost nothing in return. And here's the truth. Life keeps score. Not in a bitter way, but in a way that is far more precise than most people realize. Every time you showed up for someone when you were running on empty, every time you gave your energy while carrying your own pain, and every time you stayed loyal when it would have been easier to become cold, none of that disappeared. Energy doesn't vanish, it accumulates. And for many empaths, what's happening right now isn't luck or random timing, it's balance. It's life finally returning what was never properly received. The universe doesn't forget what people overlooked. The peace that's coming, the relationships that feel safer, the opportunities that start appearing, none of that is extra. For the empath, it's owed. And sometimes the hardest part of the comeback isn't giving anymore. It's finally allowing yourself to receive without guilt. To become something you once feared. There comes a point in an empath's life where being good starts costing too much.